453 crores. That is the amount that has been just written off. And whose money has been written off? Loans? Has a single naya paisa of your loans been written off? Is there anybody that your loan has been written off? If there is one person come, we will give one book. We will give them some prize that all right, at least one person Modi has helped among the common people, bank employees. All these are his crony corporates. 15 lakh crore rupees are just mutti bhar crony corporates. They have been helped all across. This is the situation. Lastly, let us come to politics. Today's news, you must have read. Yesterday in Parliament, Mr. Narendra Modi's government placed a bill. And what was that bill? A few months ago, the Supreme Court of India had ruled that until a proper law regarding the selection of Chief Election Commissioner, election commissioners, etc., until a law is made, they had given a formula. Supreme Court of India. What was the formula? One, Prime Minister will be there in the committee, naturally. That we don't oppose. Number two, Leader of the opposition will be there in the committee to select election commissioners. And number three, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India will be in that committee. This was the formula. A few months ago, a Supreme Court judge had finally ruled and said, today, Mr. Narendra Modi moves a bill in Parliament and he says that yes, Prime Minister will be there, Leader of the Opposition will be there, but the third will be not the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, but it will be a Minister of the Union Cabinet nominated by the Prime Minister of India. You realize what that means? You realize what that means? In a 3-member committee, it clearly becomes 2:1. 2 in the government, 1 of the Leader of the Opposition. Finished, matter ends. Your entire 2024 Lok Sabha election, all your Vidhan Sabha elections which are coming now, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Telangana, all of them are going to go for a toss. This is democracy. Apart from many other things, this is only one latest example which I gave you. ED, CBI, income tax, all are being employed against the opposition. A cartoon had come, big cartoon, in all the papers, you also must have surely seen it. There is a whole line of black, black politicians. Black in the sense, ekdam mela hua, totally who are ekdam blackened and all that. That whole set of politicians are going up. Then there is a washing machine that is called BJP. And then they go inside that washing machine and then they come out and they come out fully white. Fully white. That is the new BJP washing machine which is now doing. In the state from which I come, we saw 1 year ago, they broke 40 Shiv Sena MLAs, partly by giving them threat of ED, CBI, and partly, you will not believe this, you must have heard it, but surely I'm sure about this, they gave every MLA 50 crore rupees. 50 crores to those who defected. And now, the NCP also after 1 year, they have broken in the same way. Using the ED, using all this and blandishments. This is democracy for you. And anybody who dares to speak out, he will be thrown into jail. And he will be there for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Nobody, because UAPA is there. National Security Act is there. Sedition Act is there. All these have been made ready so that anybody who talks, now I have talked all this. I could very well be inside. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Some people have to talk all this and really make people aware of the dangers before the country. So this is the whole situation which is there today. One last thing I would like to point out. And that is the case of a young woman. Her name is Bilkis Banu. All of you must have heard about it. In the 2002 Gujarat riots, which were presided over by Mr. Narendra Modi as the Chief Minister of Gujarat, more than 2,000 people were killed. More than 2,000 people. They included small children. Hundreds of women were raped, gang raped. Bilkis Banu, who was then 21 years old in 2002, was one of them. In front of her eyes, 14 of her relatives were killed by this RSS BJP gang. In front of her eyes. Her 3-year-old daughter, in front of her eyes, they took her and they smashed her head against the pavement. 8-10 times she died in front of Bilkis Banu, her own daughter. And after doing all this, 11 men gang raped her. They thought that she had died. So they left her and went ahead. But Bilkis Banu had not died. She survived. There were others who helped her. And then she went to court against them. They were, in a very rare instance, they were given life imprisonment by the court at that time. And they were in jail. But on the 15th of August, 2022, 1 year ago, on the day that India was celebrating its 75 years of independence, the BJP government of Gujarat took an extraordinary decision. They decided that all these 11 people who are undergoing life imprisonment for having killed 14 people, for having gang raped Bilkis Banu, even before their sentence is over, they will be left, and they were left last year, 15th August, and they were welcomed with garlands and sweets by the BJP ISS. That case is now before the Supreme Court of India. Let us see what happens. My dear friends, this is what the danger of the communal forces is. We should realize it. I started with Khudiram Bose. Let us just quickly. India's freedom struggle was one of the most glorious struggles in history. No doubt about it. Lakhs of people gave up their lives to see that India becomes free. And There were basically 4 strands in this freedom struggle. We should understand this whole communal thing, from where it comes. One strand was those who took up arms against the British. And there were many. In Tamil Nadu also. In Karnataka, we know, we have Tipu Sultan. Everywhere, Andhra, Telangana. Andhra, you have Alluri Sitaram Raju. Here you have many, Tamil Nadu also we have, very, very big leaders who took up arms against the British. So they were 1857, First War of Indian Independence. Jhansi Ka Rani, Lakshmi Bai, she was killed. Like this it goes on, right up to the naval revolt of the Indian Naval Revolt, INA ratings in 1946. It includes Khudiram Bose, Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, Sukhdev, Chandrasekhar Azad, Ashfaqullah Khan, many others. So that was one current which said British must be thrown out. For that we will take up arms. Birsa Munda, an Adivasi leader from Jharkhand. All of us know all these names. That was one strand. Second strand was, of course, the Indian National Congress. Certainly it played a very important role, no doubt about it, although its beginnings are not very glorious, that is all that you know. But later on, Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, etc., they really gave a mass nature to the Indian freedom struggle. No question of denying that. No question of denying that. Of course, there were some faults. Class limitations were there of the Congress. But that's another matter. But in the freedom struggle, the Congress definitely played an important role, though not the only role, as they say. Not the only role. That's why I'm telling you these 4 strands. Third strand was that of the social reform movement. And that social reform movement has many illustrious people. What did they say? They said, in one sentence, yes, we want freedom. We want that the British should be thrown out. But at the same time, we also want social equality. We want an end to the caste system. We want an end to the Varna system. We want an end to women's subjugation, which has been going on in India for the last thousands of years. And they said, what is the root cause of all this? They said the root cause of all this is, some of them said, is the Manusmriti, 2000-year-old Manusmriti, and that is because of which the caste system, Varna system, subjugation of women, all that starts. And that is why you see Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, on the 25th of December 1927, he did a revolutionary thing. He collected thousands of people at Mahad and publicly burnt the Manusmriti. Publicly burnt it. He said, we don't want this. This is the source of our problems. We'll cast it aside. So this was the whole social reform current. Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar from Bengal, Periyar Ramaswamy Naikar from Tamil Nadu, Narayan Guru from Kerala, Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, Savitribai Phule, Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar from Maharashtra. You know, Savitribai Phule was the one who started the first girls' school in India in 1848. First girls' school, 1848, in Pune. And 1848 was also another very important year. It was the year in which Marx and Engels wrote the Communist Manifesto. See the beauty of it, like this. So therefore, this was the third stream of those who fought for social equality. And the fourth stream was that of the Communist Party and revolutionaries like Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, etc., who very clearly had said, you see Bhagat Singh's writings, which have been brought together by Comrade Shiv Verma many years ago, who was his colleague and who spent 16 years in the Andamans, Shiv Verma, without giving a single apology to the British. And there were many such, Hare Krishna Konar, Satish Pakrashi, Ganesh Ghosh, so many revolutionaries in the Andamans, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, all their names are written in Port Blair. But like Vinayak Damodar Savarkar of the Hindu Mahasabha, who wrote 5 mercy petitions to the British, these people did not write a single mercy petition. That is why they became communists. This is what we have to understand. And their point was very simple. India must get freedom. British must be removed. But along with that, economic exploitation and social oppression both must end in a new independent India. That was the point. Coming to the main point under discussion, there was one strand which never took part in the freedom struggle for over 200 years. And that was the communal elements never took part, and there were 3 organizations which must be pinpointed. It has been clearly proved by history. 1, Muslim League, nowhere connected. When Mahatma Gandhi gave the call, quit India, on the 8th of August 1942, Muhammad Ali Jinnah gave a counter call, divide and quit. That is Muslim League. Second, Hindu Mahasabha, whose leader was Savarkar. I told you, mercy petitions fame. And not only that, he took pension from the British government. Savarkar, can you imagine? He took pension from the British government. And third, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, RSS. Not a single leader of whom was ever a freedom fighter in the cause of Indian freedom. You can use a telescope or a microscope and you will not find a single RSS leader who was a freedom fighter. And these are the people today who were helping the British in their divide and rule policy. They are the ones who are now ruling India and giving us lessons in patriotism. That is what we have to understand. Lastly, there are many other things that can be said, but there is shortage of time. I'll come only in the end. In 2 or 3 minutes I'll conclude because the time is over. How do you deal with it? How do you combat it? That is the point. Because if you don't learn that, as a very great revolutionary had said, philosophers have so far interpreted the world in various ways. The point, however, is to change it. And that is the point before us today. We are not just interpreting the world. Up to now we have done that. We have to change it. We have to defeat the BJP, RSS, the biggest enemies of the country, the biggest dalals of the big corporates, the biggest enemies of the people, who are using the same strategy that the British used, divide and rule, as a result of which the British ruled over India for 200 years. The BJP, RSS are taking a leaf out of the British book. Exact same strategy, divide and rule. That is what they are doing today. We have to understand clearly what is going on. Hindu and Muslims, Hindu and Christians, Dalits and Savarna, Adivasi and non-Adivasi, men versus women. You see, every single fault line in Indian society, they are utilizing to create divisions among us. Manipur, Kuki and Maiti, two different districts. They're just putting each one against. One is Hindu, the other is Christian. But for that, they don't require that. Even separate different ethnic things is enough for them. That is what. Therefore, my point is to conclude, number one, big struggles are necessary against these forces. Big struggles. On our own demands. We should understand our demands, what they are. In banks, they're trying to privatize banks left, right, and center. And once privatization means your jobs are going to go. We know all that. That we want to discuss in the next 2 or 3 days, all these issues. So I'm not going into them. So all this, whatever affects us, we have to fight back. You are fighting back. We are very proud of Befi that you are fighting back every one of these single attacks. We have to increase the intensity. This farmers' struggle, for 1 year, which all of us fought together at the Delhi borders, let me tell you, that struggle, while it was on, all the farmers who were taking part, lakhs and lakhs, they forgot about religion. They forgot about caste. They forgot about language. You see, when a big struggle takes place, all these things are washed out. Otherwise, you see, there were Sikh farmers, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, small of them, and their population itself is small. So with big struggles, we have to do it. On the 24th of August, just now within a few days, for the first time in Indian history, we are having a huge convention in Delhi, which is for the first time in the last 76 years, where all the main leaders of the working class of India, central trade unions, all the industrial federations, bank employees, central government employees, state government employees, insurance employees, all others, BSNL, you name it and we have it. All of them are going to gather, and along with them, the farmers of India are also, the Sanyukta Kisan Morcha and the trade unions are together having a convention in Talkatora Stadium, Delhi. And they'll be giving a call. So far, trade unions have had their convention. We from the SKM, we have had our conventions. But this will be the first worker-peasant unity broad convention. Broad convention. So, that will give a call for a struggle. We have to be part of that, number one. All the future these things, for every one of us that applies. Number two, a political and ideological battle against these communal forces is the need of the hour in India today. The kind of poison that they are spreading, that poison must be countered by us. And it is possible to counter, I will tell you. No better example of that than Karnataka next door. What happened in the assembly elections just two months ago? Did they try less? Did the BJP try less? All that hijab controversy came in Karnataka, you remember? Halal, all these other communal things. But on top of that, eventually the people realized many others worked for this result. And the BJP was trounced resoundingly defeated in Karnataka. It happened in Himachal. It happened in Kerala earlier. In Kerala, for example, one of the very few states where the BJP does not have even a single MLA. That is the very important distinctive feature of Kerala today. They had one by mistake earlier. That was thrown out. Now they don't have a single one. So this is possible. My point is, why am I saying this? Because it is possible. It can be done. And that will require a political ideological battle against superstition, against irrationality, for rationality. You understand? That at every step we'll have to fight them politically, ideologically, and that is one very important thing in which all of us have to play a very important part. Third and last, without a strong organization, we cannot combat them. And therefore that organization must be built. They have built their own shakhas. They have 10,000 different organizations working here and there. Of course, they are being tremendously supported by the corporates. They are the ones who are helping them with the money. The whole media. Who is owning the media? It is these corporates who are owning the media. And that is how they are doing it. And those sections of the media who do not fall in line, they are being targeted. You must have seen the latest NewsClick. They have started attacking NewsClick. We know NewsClick. For the last 1 year, that whole farmer struggle in Delhi and all over the country, this NewsClick was one channel which continuously supported us to the hilt. Long March in Maharashtra, those books which our president told you about. NewsClick covered that entire Kisan Long March in Maharashtra. We went all over the world. And they helped us, the Kisan Sabha, to make a beautiful half-an-hour movie of that long march, which is still there. Who did all this? NewsClick. Who covers all India general strikes of the working class? NewsClick. So now today, they are now targeting NewsClick, this government. So such things should be fought tooth and nail. And organizationally, we have to build ourselves to be much stronger than them. These are some of the things that require to be done. And when doing this, of course, the political angle, I'm ending with only that, in spite of all that they did in 2019, the BJP got 303 seats in parliament with only 38% of the vote. 38%. 62% of the Indian people voted against the BJP. But yet, they got 303, clear majority in parliament. How? Because of the division within the opposition. And therefore, this new initiative that has come in the last few months, Patna meeting, Bangalore meeting, now coming Mumbai meeting of that formation called India, that has a very important place in the entire effort to defeat the BJP and the RSS. Although there are problems, we are not saying that there are no problems within India. There will be. In Kerala, there will be. The left and the Congress will fight each other in Kerala. But there is no danger of the BJP gaining through it. In Bengal, the TMC, which is tremendously doing repression, even in the Panchayat elections we saw against the left and the TMC will have to fight each other. No question about that. So such problems are there. But in the rest of the country, certainly, if an opposition unity like Tamil Nadu, for example, like Bihar, for example, like Maharashtra, for example, like some other states, if this kind of a unity is built, then it will limit the seats won by the BJP to a great extent, and that will certainly help. To whatever extent, this opposition unity is also a very important point, but it cannot be only unity at the top. It has to be unity from the village level, from the city, from the mohalla, from everywhere, and that can be done with struggles on issues that the entire country is facing: price rise, unemployment, all these other, so many other problems that are there. On this, we all have to put our shoulders to the wheel and really struggle and politically, ideologically fight every inch of the way. It can be done, and I'm sure that it will be done. 2024, the Befi will put its best foot forward, will make every single effort to mobilize all the bank employees of India, all the other middle class employees, etc., and see to it that the BJP RSS is not just defeated, but isolated and totally, really also combated all the way. With these words, I again congratulate you for this conference and this seminar. Thank you very much. Long live revolution, Inqilab Zindabad.
I request Comrade Tamil Arasu, advisor of Bank Employees Federation of Tamil Nadu and a senior leader of cooperative movement, please come to the dais. Comrade Tamil Arasu. Comrade Tamil Arasu will present a small memento to Comrade Ashok Davale on this occasion. Comrade, நம்ம கூட்டத்துக்கு இறுதி வந்தோம், கொஞ்சம் அமைதியா இருங்க. Comrades, on behalf of Bank Employees Federation of India, I think, Comrade President, I will have the privilege, on behalf of Bank Employees Federation of India, I declare that every member of Bank Employees Federation of India throughout the country will be in the forefront, the fight against the divisive forces for protecting the interests of the Indian people, for protecting the interests of the Indian masses, and to save the country, save the banks, save the nation. I declare this on behalf of the committee. Now, Comrade General Secretary Debashis Basu have some announcements.
Well, Comrade, don't worry, it won't take much time. First of all, tomorrow morning, all of you are requested to assemble for taking breakfast in time so that we can start the procession at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. means 8:59 and 60 seconds. Secondly, we will be having our Central Committee meeting in this hall. Exactly at 9:30 after taking dinner, I request all the Central Committee members to be assembled here. But one thing I must repeat, only the Central Committee members. Please assemble in this hall by 9:30. We will start the meeting at 9:30.
Comrades, dinner is to be provided here. Please take your dinner and go after vote of thanks.